Warm welcome to the class, my dear young minds. Today we are going to see about the remaining two topics which were not covered because of technical aspects of mobile in the last class. Those two concepts we are going to come across today. One is fertility rate and other is population density. Some statistics we are going to come across. And apart from that, once again we review or revise causes for the population growth, and afterward finally population measures to control the population growth. These are the things. No problem. Easy. Cool. Be cool. Yeah, the population is root cause for all social evils and most of the social evils. But it is out of control. It shows its impact upon mineral resources, natural resources, even on human resources in the last class I said. The same way. So, when it is showing that adverse impact, it is the need to control it. What are the factors, the way which help us to control this population? These are all things we are going to come across in today's class. Okay, ma? Right. I'll start with the causes for the population growth, which we missed. I explained it, but did not get recorded on the day. Yeah. Causes is, just if we look into the India in the past and at present, we can identify the causes for population growth. Once upon a time in India, there weren't facilities, many facilities were not there. No good road transportation, no good communication system, no concern towards the storage of food grains, and no concern from the government to see that every hunger-stricken belly will be filled with some food, and less poor medical and health care facilities, and attack of epidemics like plague, cholera, and also malaria, where vaccines are not available at that time, which used to cause huge human life, loss of human life. And there are certain natural made and man-made famines and droughts. So ultimately these all got showed impact upon the population. But as the time started getting advanced and India started strengthening itself, started deepening its roots on economic front, slowly one after other problems started getting addressed by the respective governments. After 1964-65 drought, the central government, union government, when Lal Bahadur Shastri Ji was the Prime Minister, focused upon food grain production, and the result is Green Revolution. Green Revolution means using the high yielding variety food grains in irrigated areas like North Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, UP, Bihar, and also Telangana, United Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, where water irrigation is highly available. Dams were constructed, they were taken into consideration, and with this what happened? Food grain production increased in leaps and bounds. Once food grain production improved, governments started storing them procuring from the farmer certain quantity, one-third of their production, and storing it. For storing it, they made an act in 1964, Food Corporation of India Act. According to that, Food Corporation of India came into existence, and this body started looking into the purchasing of food grains and storing them in godowns. So now buffer stock, means food grain stock started increasing, and if at all any need in any part of the country, any famine occur, any drought occur, any flood occur, but instantly they are ready to send a certain quantity of food grains. Now you see, this is the time of pandemic. Central government is supplying some 5 kilograms of rice to the needy, or wheat to the needy in North India or western part of India. Eastern part of and southern part of India are paddy or rice are given through PDS, public distribution system. What is the important medium in public distribution system? Ration shop or fair price shop is the medium through which the common people can avail the food grains given by the government, distributed by the government at less price or free of cost. But 5 kgs central government, Indian government is giving, 5 kgs state governments are also giving, 10 kgs free of cost to the people to save their lives. So this sort of concern towards the health and very advancement in science and technology, medical science and technology, medical sciences made people to get more variety of medicines and vaccinations available. So now even Bharat Biotech is ready to send Covaxin very soon to fight against clinical trials are going on in a NIMS and so on. So some 5 other hospitals. Now we are going to fight against this corona also very soon. One vaccine made by Americans got success. You have to see because it is changing its proteins. 30 variety they are, whether they are suitable or not. But Bharat Biotech is giving a conformity that they are going to give a vaccine by the end of August. Let's see, let us welcome, let us pray the God. Right. So in this way we have started advancing in medical and health facilities, Nana, and that showed impact upon falling death rates. On one account falling death rates, on the other account birth rates started going on high because governments could not identify at the initial stages the adverse impact of increasing population. Up to 1975, during till the emergency, much concern was not given to the increasing population. From 1975 onwards, the governments started focusing upon cutting down the increasing population. At one point of time, Mr. Sanjay Gandhi, son of Indira Gandhi, who acted as the de facto prime minister of the day, he asked all the government doctors to go for forceful sterilization. Forceful sterilization means by and force carrying family planning operation to the couple who have 2 children. Doctors, it is the duty of the doctors of the concerned area. They have to go and they have to get the information about the people who are having 2 children, and they have to get them, and they have to get, they were made to go under sterilization or a tubectomy or vasectomy, either male or female. But if it is female tubectomy, if it is male vasectomy, so that family planning operation gets completed, so that they can't give birth to any more babies. So in this way, family planning activities were very late. This was done by the government by forcefully. But from 1980 onwards, somewhat literate people started thinking about providing a happy and safe living conditions to their children. So they started limiting their families. So here came a new family system called nuclear family system, V2 hours 2. And it became in the recent days V2 hours 1, only one child, single child in most of the families. Because keeping in the socio-economic conditions of them, the couples also started planning their family to give a decent and dignified life to their children. They started limiting themselves with 1 child or 2 child. They themselves, no forceful. That in 1975 government did by force. But now people voluntarily being educated and having a conscious and awareness about socio-economic aspects of the future, they are limiting themselves with one or two. This started from 1981. That's where population growth rate starts declining from 1981 onwards now. Apart from that, falling down of fertility rate. Fertility rate started falling down. What is the reason for fertility rate falling down? One is, just now I said. So what is fertility rate? You have to know about fertility rate. Fertility rate is the ability of a woman to give birth to babies till her childbearing age, means till the age she can conceive, become pregnant. Up to that time, how many children she can give birth if she is alive? That is called fertility rate. Able to understand a fertility rate? This fertility rate, somehow it was very good in 1960s and on. It is 5.6. Fertility rate was 5.6. In India, means half-a children a woman used to give birth. A woman used to give birth to half-a children, or half of the cricket team you can call. So that was the ability of women on that day. But now suddenly in India, right now 2011 you see, it is 2.7 in India. In Indian average fertility rate of a woman in India is 2.7 rupees. She is able to give birth to 2 babies or 3 babies. Got it? And in the state of Telugu, that is the twin states of Telugu, Telangana and almost United AP, this is 1.9 only now. Means we are giving birth either to 1 baby or 2 babies only. In fact, only 1 or 2 infants. It is in Telugu states, 1.9. Entire India also 2.7, 5.6 to 2.7, it got fallen down. What may be the reasons? Maybe reasons because of the food that these women are consuming all these days, which is made by pesticides and synthetic fertilizers. That is showing its impact upon the childbearing capacity of the woman. That's why third delivery is not possible with the woman nowadays. 1 day 6 deliveries, and even day before I was saying about what? Grand multi-pyara. What is this grand multi-pyara? Grand multi-pyara. Grand multi-pyara is, if a woman gives birth more than half a dozen, then it is called grand multi-pyara in medical terms. Day before yesterday I was quoting a case study. On Saturday it was reported in news dailies, Telugu news dailies. In Palavansha, Bhadrachalam, some agency area, a lady is going to give birth to 9th baby. She had all 8 healthy deliveries. And the 9th also she is having all good quality of blood, hemoglobin, everything, BP, sugar under control and so on. 9th month baby conceived, it is 9th month running for the baby, and soon she is going to deliver. And it was made a news item because in these days no question of women going for 9th delivery, because they are tribal community, they don't know what are family planning programs and so on. So that happened. Got it? So these are the things. Fertility rate falling is also showing impact upon the decreasing the population growth, decreasing the population growth. Percentage population growth we count in percentages. Now it is 2% now in India. In India, population growth percentage is 2%. Actually, if 1% increase in population, 1 crore will be added to the population. But if 2% is going on in India right now, population growth means 2 crores every year are new Indians coming into the market. Indian society, of course, not market, Indian society. 2 crore babies or 2 crore human beings coming into the Indian society every year. 10 years, 20 crores, the population increases. That's why you see 2001, 1 or 2 crores. By 2011, what was the population of India? 121 crores. Means 120 crores, 80 lakhs, something like that. Means how much? Almost all, there was an increase of 19 crores. Again by 2021, the same 20 crores will be getting new into India. But death rate is falling down. But it done because of food, good quality food available, nutritious food available, people turning conscious of their health, and so on. And here, fertility rate, why it is showing very less nowadays is even people who got educated, they became conscious of family planning and they are refraining themselves, going with only one or two child. So that ultimately showing its impact upon fertility rate also. What it is, some innocent people like that, Iduma or some lady, day before, they are only such a tribal or people who are unaware about the socio-economic aspects. They are having more than 2 babies, but and certain areas some problem what is also there. Some people believe that their religion asks to give birth to more number of children. Their religion asks them not to go for family planning. In the name of religion and faith, also certain people will give birth to half a cricket team or half a what we call a football team or a kabaddi team. That is also a cause for, means it is religious and cultural beliefs, we can't point them. Their perception that is. But so in the name of faith and religion, also certain people are turning cause for the increase in the population of the country. So tribals, innocents, who are not having any awareness about this family planning, they are a cause for the increasing population. Now we come to population density. What is population density? Population density is that the number of people living for a unit area. Here unit area is per square kilometer. The number of people living for a square kilometer. So, how many people are living? For example, if this box is there, I'm the only man standing, freely I can stand. But 4 people come and they want to stand in the same box, a square which is there below my foot. Right? 4, is it easy, comfortable? One will be pushing the other, one will be pushing the other. So, that the number of people getting accommodated or living per square kilometer of area is density of population. Able to understand? Fertility of rate, already I said you. The ability of a woman to give birth to babies till her childbearing age, if she is alive, if she lives up to that age, some age 35 or 30, 40 up to where she can give birth to the babies, how many babies she can give, she can produce or give birth to. That is fertility rate. Population density, the number of people living per a square kilometer area. Got it? So, India's average, national average population density is 382 per square kilometer. 382 people are living per a square kilometer in India. It is India. 382 people are living per square kilometer in India. Got it? And whereas the people in the population density of Telangana, 312 per square, according to recent stats, 312 people are living per square kilometer. 312 people are living per square kilometer. Got it? Population density of which state is more? The state with the highest population density is Bihar, 1100 and above per square kilometer. Why Bihar? Because Bihar, UP, Haryana, Punjab, almost all, these are all states, northern plain, they fall in northern plain, the great northern plain or Indo-Gangetic Valley. So, their living opportunities are more, that's why most of the population of India, 40% we can say out of every 100 Indians, 40 will be living in this plain areas only. Got it? Remaining 60% will be in coastal plains, plateau region, moderate population in the plateau regions, and hilly terrains. Hilly terrains mostly sparsely populated. And why hilly terrains sparsely populated? Population density is not uniform around the country. It is varying from place to place. In plains, heavy, thick, because availability of fertile soil, availability of good quantity of water may be in the form of rivers and streams or rainfall. That's why states like Kerala in south and Bihar in north, Haryana, Punjab, they are thickly populated. Why? Fertile soil is there, agriculture is possible. Round the clock, three seasons, Kharif, Rabi, Zaid, they can grow one or other crop. When farmers are growing that, agricultural laborers also will get employment. That's why people who seek employment from different parts of the country, they will be moving to plain areas because employment is available there. And when agriculture activity is going on, this agriculture requires pesticides and fertilizers and also mills, some factories to convert this raw form of food grains into refined food grains. So, industrial activity will also be more, agro-based industries will be more. That will give you employment. That will give you employment. As water is available in the form of rivers and streams, fishing will be available. Fishes are available, fish health is more. Their fishermen community come and settles down. In this way, the plain regions will be providing ample employment opportunities which will attract more number of people to them. When there are more number of people, then naturally the pressure upon the land increases. Natural resources, mineral resources will be increasing. Got it? So, that is nothing but population density is increasing. Limited area, 1 square kilometer of area, 5 people. Now in the same box, 5 people, 6 people are standing. This how it will be cramped. It is cramped, congested. But still they live because there is availability of the livelihood for them. So that is called population density. Hilly tracts and plateau regions, moderate. Of course, in hilly tracts we can say sparse. Why? No availability of fertile soil over there. Shallow and shallow means not much deep, but no similar topography, up and down topography. So, non-availability of fertile soil, topography is not conducive, but rainfall, availability of rainfall is also not much. So, naturally, where they can go for agriculture activity there or industrial activity, topography is like this. If it is flat or elevated like plateau or flat like plain, some activity will take industrial activity, agriculture activity, service sector, automatically basing on these two, service sector activity will come. But if these two are not there, where is service sector activity? Agricultural activity is not there. Industrial activity is not there. Where is service sector activity? That's why poor conditions of agricultural activity, poor conditions of industrial activity, and service sector are being poor, population will also be very less there. Mostly tribal people you see, northeastern states or in hilly tracts of middle India, central India. Got it? So in South India or northern part of India, western part of India, where hilly terrains are there only few tribal groups communities will be living. So this is about population density. And what is the population of state of Telangana? Population of state of Telangana is 3.90 crores or 3 crores 90 lakhs according to the recent census. 3 crores 90 lakhs is the population of Telangana. Able to understand? The state with the highest population density is Bihar. Then what is the state with the lowest population density? Arunachal Pradesh. 17 people, hilly terrain, totally hills. We came in the first chapter. What are that hills are called? Purvanchal hills and Patkai hills in Arunachal Pradesh we call Gautit Shivaliks. That it is eastern boundary of India. There, in that state, hilly state terrain, 17 people per square kilometer. What is it? 17 people per square kilometer. Whereas we have Bihar 1100 plus 1132 something like that. Bihar per square kilometer. That is Bihar. India 382 square kilometer. Telangana 312 people per square kilometer. India 382 people per square kilometer. Means Telangana is not having population density more than India, and Bihar 1132 more than Indian population density, average population density. But it and Arunachal Pradesh 17 per square kilometer, the density of population. Are you able to understand? Na? This is the concept related to fertility rate and population density. Now we are going to look into factors that will be contributing to control the population growth, in controlling the population growth. Got it? So what are the factors that will be stopping this increasing population, and why? Because more population is a cause for social evils, many social evils. Nana. How we can overcome this problem of overpopulation, excessive population? Population should be there, but excessive population increases pressure upon natural resources, mineral resources. For example, you think some 40 years back in Khammam town, we used to get, it now it is city, people used to get municipal water, even it is public tap, 2 hours in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. Got it? And after playing, we used to go to that public tap and we used to wash and go to home. So now you see, alternative days, diurnal. Diurnal means once in 2 days or 3 days now it is giving, it is getting, and that to 1 hour. Water, safe drinking water is supplied by the government. Diurnal means once in 2 days, at times 3 days also. Why? Because the people started moving from different parts of the state, United States of AB, and started settling down in Khammam town for educational reasons, for education of their children, as a good number of education institutions are available here. Employment opportunities, as good number of industrial aspects are there, like granites and so on, and many other industries also. Khammam is a hub of many minerals also in Khammam district. So, in this way, industrial progress and progress in the education made many people to migrate here, because they get employment opportunity over here. So that increases the population of the town, and ultimately the resource which is available in plenty to the people who are living in Khammam 40 years back, now it became scarce. Very rare they are getting the water, that 1 hour they are getting. That too, certain times it is not pure water, murky water only. Why? This is more pressure increased upon the water source available in this city called Khammam. Now we will see what are the measures. One, family planning is a known aspect. Family planning is very known aspect. And next, campaigning. Government have to take campaigning regarding this population control in a big way. How? By encouraging, incentives should be given. How incentives should be given? One, in case of politics, you see, in local bodies means Gram Panchayat or Jilla Parishad, Mandal Parishad elections or ward councillors, a restriction is there. If any fellow is having 3 children, he will become ineligible to contest in the election. Got it? So, naturally the fellow who is going to contest will have 2 only. Now, this particular thing should be made even in case of education and employment also. Those people who want reservation in this particular area should have only 2 children or 1 children. In the case of education and employment, that is an incentive. What will be incentive? Reservation will be provided to them in whoever the class it may be, whatever the category it may be, maybe reserved classes or unreserved classes. Even a fellow from upper class is going to have limited people, limited child, he should be given a priority in the employment education naturally. And the people who are in reserved classes also, the people who are having more children than 2 will lose their opportunity if you say so. Automatically population to certain extent will come down. And encouraging the people who give birth to single baby or who will be adopting the orphan child, the individuals who don't have children, they will be going and spending money for IVF, intravitreal, some fertility centers. They will be going and they are spending money. Instead of that, if you adopt a baby, your money will be saved, because there are many number of orphan children whose burden is taken by the governments. So, if you adopt, governments have to give chance of adoption for them, and also those who comes forward to adopt a baby, they should be given certain amount of incentive, 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. Able to understand? And also the people who give birth to only baby, single baby, they should be encouraged. And girl child, they should be given incentive, like we are having now. Girl child, if anyone gives a baby birth, and one program used to be there, that is Lakshmi, some Bangatali, something like that. Bangatali. Some 5,000 or 10,000 will be fixed by the government in the bank in the name of the girl child. So that girl child, by the time she grows up to 18 or 20, there she gets some 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, means parent burden is getting, the parent is not now given a chance to worry about it. So those parents who are going with a single girl child, going to stop with a single, because what happens is girl child is there, we will wait for the boy child. And in that process, what happens? 3, 4 coming out, but boy is not coming out. All are girls only. And at times, the babies are killed also when they are girl child. Infant foeticide or infant mortality is there because of that one. So, the parent who gives birth to a girl child will be given certain more incentive. Naturally, they will be coming forward because they get some money. Economic problem is getting solved because economics is the basic aspect, or money is the basic aspect, which is a need for every human being for sustaining themselves. So when the child is not getting any burden anymore, getting some money, fetching for money for the family, naturally even those people who are having that notions, they will also make the baby to be, they will also give only birth to a single baby, that will reduce the population. And governments are giving incentives for those people who goes for family planning, some 500 or 1,000. It should not be like that. Now instead of what I said, if they go for one child, 1 lakh should be given. If they go for 2 child, something around 20,000 to 30,000 they should be given. Or they have government have to fix it in the name of the 2 child. If the parent takes family planning operation, certain facility like fix some amount in the bank, some 20,000 each. Like this, we go ahead with the programs, automatically it will come down. Awareness, creating awareness. How we can create awareness? Social media and mass media, radio, television, or the mass media. Social media. How social media? Short film, by making short film, encouraging the producers of short films who carry who make films with appropriate message which will attract the heart of every young couple. Got it? So that even they will come to know what is the benefit if they have a limited family. Such a short film should be made, stories should be made, poems should be made. Got it? Through mass media awareness campaign, and women education should be given a highly priority. Women's role should be increased, because when women gets educated, first she will be getting health education also. She will stop. She will stop giving birth to unwanted pregnancies will be stopped. When she want to give birth, she will be planning. And as she is busy with education, it provides her employment. When she is busy with work, she will not have that much time to take care of the children. That's why she will limit herself with 1 baby or 2 babies. So, women, enhancing the status of women in the Indian society is very much important now. Got it? Social outlook should be changing. That means marriage is a mandatory. If someone is not getting married, the people start talking something about that particular individual, male or female, that outlook should undergo a change. Marriage should not be a must and compulsion. Marriage should be an individual's, according to the discretion of an individual. If anyone is not getting married, what's the problem? You want to enjoy life alone. Alone you want to enjoy the life. You want to enjoy the loneliness. So that should not be treated as a crime by the society. Social outlook have to undergo a change. And apart from that, marriage age, if it is very low, as early as the marriage, before that marriage only, child marriage, the marriages are going on which are called child marriage. In India generally, according to law, 18 years is the marriage age for a girl child, 21 years for a boy. Got it? So law is there, but implementation is not going on, and the result is child marriages, and when the body is not ready for the postnatal aspect, even though the girls are forced to carry the pregnancy, they have to carry the pregnancy. So this is happening in Indian society. Very sorry. That's why the law should be implemented well and more. When education is encouraged among the youngsters, they will be spending more number of years in education. They will be getting married late. That will also stop the growing population to a certain extent. And marriage age also should be increased. Now it will make it for girls 21 and make it for boy 24. Until that age, no one should get married. So automatically it will show a big impact upon the increasing population. 2 crores population every year will come down to, if you follow this law, 1 crore population. A decade, 10 crore only instead of 20 crore. Got it? Somewhere we can't match with the death rate. Death rate is becoming low because advanced medical facilities are available. Even people are getting sustained from this pandemic called COVID-19, coronavirus disease 19. Okay, Nana, with this I am concluding, and there was repeated appeal from many of my students. So you will be getting your notes related to even Unit 5 and this chapter also hereafter. And next coming Monday we will be having 21st, I think, if I am not wrong, this is what is the date today? 13th, 28th, I think. You will be having exam in 2 topics: Indian rivers and water resources, along with that population also. We will go for a test in these 2 topics, maybe for 20 marks.